There's been thunder and lightning. We're leaving Alabama, and there's some, talk of heavy winds, thunderstorm, tornadoes, so we're getting out of here. Hey friends, welcome to the channel. I'm Paige. I live, work, and travel full-time in an RV with my husband Justin and our 18-year-old cat. There's been a lot of talk lately about how Alabama is the new Florida, at least when it comes to RVing, especially for snowbirds. Yes, the weather is a bit warmer in Florida, but the parks are pricier and harder to book, especially if you're not 55 plus, because about half of the parks in Florida are off limits to people who don't meet those criteria. In today's video, I check out the beautiful white beaches of Alabama and stay at a brand new RV resort near Gulf Shores, all with the hope of seeing if Alabama is better than Florida when it comes to RVing. What do you think, Ratface? Alabama or Florida? Which one's better? Yeah, I think so too. After a 2-week stay near New Orleans, we set out for Alabama. And the first thing we did when we got to Alabama was go to Buc-ee's. So I guess you could say we were off to a good start. And you could also say that I'm in love with Buc-ee's, because I am. And once we were done at Buc-ee's, it was a quick hop, skip, and a jump to our destination. Tropic Hideaway RV Resort in Foley, Alabama. To put my reviews in context, we are full-timers who work full-time remotely. So primarily we were looking for a low-drama stay, quiet night's rest, full hookups, and a good value for money. We like being near interesting things, but we don't have to be right next to something. If it's a short drive away, that's fine because we're in a classy motorhome towing a Jeep and we don't mind driving. Although proximity to things like stores and Amazon lockers are always a plus. How was it? Well, so right away, the first thing you'll probably notice is all the empty spots. See a few people here and there. See, right there's the office with that brown roof. And over there you can see the pool and the pickleball courts, which I'll show you in greater detail later. There are more people on this row over here, but you can still see there are a ton of empty spots. Look at that water. I will say that the gate was really pretty. Look at this. Really makes you feel welcome when you first come in. It's not too hard to navigate the rest of the time. You can see from this view that it's pretty spacious, pretty easy to drive around. I will note that a lot of the park roads were one way, which makes a lot of sense, I suppose, with the big rigs, but it was a little strange sometimes with your toad trying to navigate around them. It's a closer view of the office there on the right. You get the picture here. I'm going to cut to the approach of our site here just because there's so much empty space. And this was our street. You can see how perfectly manicured everything is, how much space you have in all the sites. And importantly, you can see there was literally no one on our street. Look at all these empty spaces. When I say we were the only people on our road, I mean it. Okay, so you're just starting to see our rig in the distance, that white Class C there. But look at how alone we were this week. That's us right there on the right. Right near the entrance. And speaking of our site, check out this little pond that was right next to us. Really cool. And here's another shot of our site. See, we have plenty of room to park the Jeep. And here are a couple of photos I took from across the street. You can really see how much room we had, even if we had neighbors. Alright, now I'll show you the campground facilities. This is the women's restroom and shower house. You see beautiful art, changing table, Really nice bathrooms, very pretty. That's me, of course. And the showers are back here. First one here you can see is really big. They've got a nice bench. A more accessible one. And then you have a smaller one back here as well. And here's the laundry room. It's kind of near the office. See, it's not terribly big. There's a bunch of machines out of order. The card reader's out of order, as you can see. But there are a few machines in here and they worked. Pretty simple, kind of small. And here's the fitness room. Got some machines. Pretty good, actually. Nice view out this window of the pool and lounge areas. Big TV. And this is the big lounge area that's near the office, the gym, the pool. It kind of connects it all together. It is enormous. We've got this nice outdoor kitchen area. Lots of furniture. It's really pretty out here, actually. I will say the one downside is that because it is indoor-outdoor, if you have any rain, which does happen on the Gulf quite a bit and did happen during my stay, that the furniture gets wet. I actually had a day I was doing laundry that I was hanging out here and I had to brush off a wicker chair so I could sit down. And this is the pool area. It's really nice. And here is the pickleball court. We've got 2 courts. And here's something cool. This park actually has a putting green. Check it out. I'm hardly an expert on such things, but it looks really nice. And as you can see, keeping with the rest of the resort, it appears to be brand new. And yes, they do have a dog park. Looks really nice. Spacious. It looks like they have 2 areas. So as far as nearby attractions, this is really one of the areas in which this resort really shines. So first off, you have the OWA Parks and Resort. Tropic Hideaway is essentially on the property. Actually, our parking pass was branded with it, so I believe it is actually part of the resort. OWA is really interesting. It's an amusement park and it has an event center with various attractions. And actually, there was a Mardi Gras themed murder mystery dinner theater event that caught my eye, which was sadly not during our stay. There's also, of course, Gulf Shores, Alabama, which is a cute, beachy, fun town with lots of things for families to do. And there's lovely, lovely Orange Beach. One of the interesting things about Orange Beach is the sand is so fine there, it's like cornstarch. And it even squeaks when you walk. And now it's time for the most important review of all. What did Ratface think? Well, here he is on one of his walks, enjoying the pond. He also enjoyed it every day from the window, from the couch, along with me. See? It has him captivated, as does the grass. Oh yes. He also enjoyed watching the wide variety of wildlife. I mean, look at this egret. He was there every day. And finally, this is just specific to Ratface, but this is a variety of grass called hairgrass. It's ornamental. And anytime we can get into a park that has it, he adores it. Now it's time for a brief list of pros and cons about the park. The first pro is that it's brand new. According to staff I talked to, it opened August 1st, 2023. So about 6 months before we stayed there. And it looked it. Actually, some of the sites looked like nobody had ever stayed on them. It was really striking. The second pro is that it was immaculately landscaped. As you could see, some of the footage I showed you, there were beautiful palmettos, there was beautiful hair grass that Ratface loved. Even the palm tree placement was really well thought out. It was really lush for being right in the middle of the city and being paved. I was really shocked. And on the same token, there was the next pro is that there were multiple water features on site. We actually had a wonderful pond right next to our site that was frequented by multiple birds. It was really lovely. It was nice to be so close to everything, but also have some wildlife around you. And the proximity of things brings me to my next pro, was that it was close to things. We were close to OWA, grocery stores, all kinds of shopping. You know, we had multiple Amazon lockers that were really convenient, which was really important to us as full-timers, really great. And it was just a quick drive to both Gulf Shores and Orange Beach, which so honestly, the location was really excellent. The next big pro was that the sites were not only long, they were also wide. We had a lovely wide campsite and lawn, even without factoring in how much extra space we had because there weren't many people at the park. It feels like we would have a lot of room even if the park were full up, which was really nice. In addition, everything was paved. There was a nice little patio area for us. And our site was reasonably level. We did have to do a few blocks under the tires, but I mean, we've had a lot worse. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't pancake flat, but it wasn't terrible, our site at least. Another big thing was, it was just a great rate for how lovely the park was. It was $50 a night. More on that in the con section, but was really good this day. And the final pro was very specific to when we stayed there, but I have to mention, we were the only people on our entire road. We felt like we were completely alone that week. It was a really, really lovely stay. Again, very specific to when we stayed, and I don't think that's always going to be the case, but more on that in just a little bit. So now it's time for the cons. And truth be told, I really had to reach for these. I'm being really nitpicky. And the second item on my con list isn't really even about the park now. It's about what I suspect will happen later, but more on that in a second. So the first con is the laundry facility. You saw it. It's just adequate. There aren't many machines relative to the park size. Some of them were out of order. The card reader wasn't working, so you know you have to use quarters. It's nice that maybe sometime you'll be able to have a card reader, but it wasn't something I could use this stay. And honestly, the number of machines relative to the park size is really inadequate. So clearly they aren't really catering towards full-timers like us. It looks like it's more of someplace they want people to come on vacation, which is fine, but it's something to consider if you're like us. Although I will say that they do offer weekly and monthly rates, so they're at least open to longer timers. I will say they weren't horribly expensive. It was a very average to good price at $2 to wash and $2 to dry, so there was that at least. And the final con, which, you know, it's more of a mixed item and it's more of something that to be concerned about, or something I'm concerned about, is the rate is really great right now, and the park was really quiet when we stayed. Like, there was almost nobody here, you could see. But I suspect that as word gets out and more people hear about it, it will both be busier and the rate will go up, because that seems to be the natural lifespan of these things. In fact, we actually booked another stay in just a few months' time, and we noted that the price for this stay was $60 a night instead of $50 a night, and there were way more people in the park, so it's already happening a little bit. That said, it's all in all one of the best parks we've stayed at all around. It was a great value for money, and it speaks volumes that we've already booked another stay there. So, is Alabama better than Florida? Well, let's go to Florida and see. Hey guys, this is Paige. I've just packed up the inside of the rig. Justin's outside. He's still packing up. It's been off and on rain. There's been thunder and lightning. We're leaving Alabama, and there's some, you know, talk of heavy winds, thunderstorm, tornadoes, so we're getting out of here. Very spicy morning though. Poor Justin's all wet. We have his dry clothes on the bed, and he's gonna throw his pack up clothes in the shower. which is one of our big hacks. But yeah, pretty spicy. He's been working diligently outside, eyes glued to radar, looking for a chance to pack up when the rain's a little bit lighter. So I'll show you. Ratface is in his carrier. Say hi to them, Ratface. He's so good. You can't even see him. He's black. He's got his eyes closed. He'll be going on my lap once we get going. But yeah, pretty exciting. There's Justin outside doing his thing. All right, we're gonna get going.
Raining sideways.
Hear the sound? Hear the rain, dude? Rain. Why does it rain sideways? Is that just the wind?
It's just wind, yeah.
It's an ill omen. So Justin, you're saying that the storm is chasing us at the same rate that we are moving?
Yeah, so moving east to west about the same rate. I mean, the clouds themselves are moving up north as a faster clip, but the actual front is moving east to west, so from west to east.
Like a creepy stalker.
Yeah.
So stay tuned, I guess.
Yep, that's just what we're doing today.
Tune in next time for part 2 when we stay in Florida. What do you think? Is Alabama the new Florida? Or does Florida still have Alabama beat? Feel free to weigh in down there in the comments section. And is there any place else you think I should check out and stay at? I'm always looking for new parks. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.